The vibe in my kitchen that morning, man, it was straight up toxic. I was just sitting there at my old oak table, sipping tea that had already gone cold. You know that kind of silence? The heavy kind, the one that tells you something bad is about to go down. Then, boom, my son Leo walks in. Not with love, not with respect. Nah, he walked in like he owned the whole world. He didn't even say hi, Mom. Instead, he slammed a stack of papers on the table so hard my cup almost tipped over. "All right, let's not waste time," he said, checking his phone like I was some kind of appointment. "I need you to sign these." I looked at the papers slowly. Loans, collateral, legal stuff. Then I looked at him. "Leo, what is this?" He sighed like I was the problem. "Mom, my startup needs funding. Big opportunity. I just need you to put this house up as collateral. It's a smart move." I felt my chest tighten. "This house is everything your father and I built," I said quietly. "But Leo?" He laughed. Actually laughed. "Mom, you're thinking small. This is business. You don't get it." That's when I realized something. This wasn't my son anymore. This was someone who had forgotten where he came from. He leaned closer, voice getting colder. "Let me make this simple," he said. "You either sign these papers, or you move out." I froze. "What did you just say?" He didn't even blink. "I already talked to a lawyer. The house situation can be handled. You've got 30 minutes to decide. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. To lose my home, or risk everything." Then he walked out like nothing happened. Just stepped outside, scrolling his phone, probably texting his friends about how he was about to secure the deal. I sat there alone, the clock ticking, tick, tick, tick. But instead of panicking, I got calm, real calm, because Leo didn't know something. Something his father made sure of before he passed. When the 30 minutes were up, Leo came back in with that same smug look. "Well," he said, "ready to be smart for once?" I stood up slowly. "No, Leo," I said. "I'm ready for you to learn something." He rolled his eyes. "Don't start with that emotional stuff." That's when we both heard it. A sound from outside. Deep, loud, powerful. Not just one engine, multiple. Leo paused. "What the?" We both turned toward the window. And then 5 black SUVs rolled into the driveway. Clean, glossy, expensive. Not normal cars. These were serious. Leo's face changed instantly. "Mom, what is this?" I didn't answer. I just walked to the door, opened it, stepped outside. The SUVs stopped. Doors opened. Men in suits stepped out. Calm, professional, not saying a word. Leo came rushing behind me. "Mom, what is going on?" I turned to him, and for the first time that day, I wasn't the weak one. "You really thought I had no backup?" I said. His face went pale. One of the men handed me a file. I signed a document. Then I looked back at Leo. "You wanted control of this house?" I said. He nodded slowly, confused. "Well, here's the truth." I stepped closer. "This house, this land, this entire estate," I paused, "is under a protected trust." Leo blinked. "What does that mean?" "It means," I said calmly, "you don't own anything. Gone." "Wait. No, that's not right." "Oh, it gets better," I added. I pulled out my phone, tapped a few times. And as of right now, I showed him the screen. "All your accounts have been frozen. Silence. Pure silence." Leo grabbed his phone, opened his banking app, refreshed it. Again. Again. Then his face dropped. No, this has to be a glitch." I shook my head. Not a glitch. I looked him straight in the eyes. A consequence. "Mom, you can't do this," he shouted. "Oh, I already did." One of the security men stepped forward. "Ma'am, should we proceed?" I nodded. "Remove him." Leo stepped back. "This is my house." I raised my eyebrow. "No, Leo," I said quietly. "This was your home, until you chose money over your mother." They escorted him out. No drama, no shouting, Just gone. Standing outside with nothing. No car, no access, no power. And just like that, the boy who tried to throw his mother out was now the one with nowhere to go. I stood at the door, watched him from a distance, and whispered to myself, Lesson 1, Leo. You don't bite the hand that raised you. Leo stood there in the driveway. No keys, no money, no plan, just standing there like his whole world had just glitched out. Mom, this is crazy, he said, trying to act tough. But his voice, yeah, it was shaking now. You're really gonna do this to your own son? I leaned against the doorframe, calm as ever. No, Leo, I said. You did this to yourself. He checked his phone again. Still nothing. No balance, no access, no backup plan. That confidence he walked in with earlier? Yeah, that was gone. Fine, he muttered. I don't need you. I'll figure it out. That's the thing about ego. It talks big, right before reality hits hard. He walked off like he still had control. But I knew better, because I had already closed every door he thought he could run to. First thing Leo did, he pulled up to his bank. Walked in like he still owned the place. Yeah, I need to access my account, he told the lady at the desk. She typed a few things, paused, then looked at him. I'm sorry, sir, your accounts are restricted. Leo laughed. Restricted? Nah, check again. She did. Same result. Sir, everything is frozen. That's when his smile dropped. Who did this? He snapped. She didn't answer, but he already knew. He walked outside, pulled out his keys. Pressed unlock. Nothing. Pressed again. Still nothing. A tow truck pulled up behind him. Leo? The driver asked. Yeah? Yeah. This car's getting repossessed. This is my car. The guy shrugged. Not anymore. Right there, in broad daylight, they hooked up his luxury SUV and drove off. Just like that. Gone. People were watching. Phones out. Recording. Leo stood there, helpless, for the first time in his life. Now here's where it gets messy. Leo called Tiffany, his ride or die, his baby, the one he flexed on Instagram with. Hey babe, I need you to pick me up, he said, trying to sound normal. She paused. Wait, I just saw something online. What? They said your accounts got frozen. Leo went silent. Yeah, it's just temporary, he said quickly. I'll fix it. Another pause. Longer this time. Then she sighed. Leo, I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah, that line never ends well. I didn't sign up for this kind of stress, she said. You know, security. Leo's face went blank. Tiffany, are you serious right now? I just think we need a break. Click. Call ended. Just like that. The girl who loved his lifestyle didn't love him. Leo opened Instagram. Wanted to distract himself. Bad idea. Because the internet, it had already found out. RH. Videos of his car getting towed. Clips of him arguing at the bank. Even security footage from outside my house. All over the place. RH. Yo, isn't this that rich kid? Bro got humbled real quick. From millionaire to broke in 24 hours. His comments were flooded. Not with fans, with trolls. Followers dropping, messages blowing up, reputation gone. By nightfall, Leo had nowhere left. No car, no girlfriend, no money, no house. He sat on a curb, just staring at the ground. Cars passing by, people living their lives, while his felt like it had just ended. That's when it finally hit him. Not anger, not ego, just fear. Damn, he whispered to himself. What do I do now? And that right there, that moment, that's where the real story begins. Because losing everything isn't the end. It's the start of something way harder. Leo thought the worst was already behind him. Nah, he was dead wrong. Because the real game hadn't even started yet. The next morning hit him like a truck. No chauffeur, No luxury car waiting outside. No notifications blowing up his phone. Just silence. And that cheap alarm clock screaming like it hated his existence. "Yo, what time is it?" Leo groaned, half asleep. Then it hit him. He had a shift. At the warehouse. Minimum wage. Reality check. Activated. Leo dragged himself out of bed, staring at the cracked mirror on the wall. "This can't be my life," he muttered. But it was. No filters. No edits. Just raw, uncut reality. At the warehouse, Big Mike was already there. Arms crossed. Face serious. Energy, zero tolerance. "Look who finally showed up," Mike said. "You think this is some kind of Netflix show? You late, you lose pay." Leo rolled his eyes. "Relax, man, it's just a job." Big Mike stepped closer. Real close. "This ain't just a job. This is survival." Leo didn't reply, because deep down, he felt that. First task, moving heavy crates. Not light boxes, not aesthetic Instagram content. Heavy, sweaty, back-breaking work. After 20 minutes, Leo was already exhausted. "Yo, I need a break," he said. Mike laughed. "You just started." By lunchtime, Leo's hands were shaking, sweat dripping, back hurting, ego completely crushed. He sat down alone, eating a cheap sandwich. This was the same guy who used to eat $500 steaks like it was nothing. Now, he was counting coins. Across the room, two workers were whispering. "Isn't that the rich kid?" "Yeah, the one who got kicked out." "Damn, that's crazy." Leo heard everything. Every single word. That's when it really hit him. He wasn't just broke. He was exposed. After work, Leo stepped outside, completely drained. Then he saw something that made his stomach drop. A luxury car passed by. Same model he used to drive. Same shine. Same status. But this time, it wasn't his. He stood there, watching it disappear. And for the first time in his life, he felt small. That night, Leo opened his phone. No messages. No friends checking in. No Tiffany. Just silence. Then he checked social media. Worst mistake ever. Clips of him were everywhere. At the bus stop, at the warehouse. Broken. Leo threw his phone across the room. "This is messed up," he shouted. But nobody was there to hear him. For the first time, no audience, no followers, no backup. Just him and his consequences. Meanwhile, back at the mansion, I was sitting calmly in the garden, watching everything unfold. Not with anger, but with purpose. "He needs this," I said quietly. "He needs to break before he can rebuild." Because this wasn't punishment. This was transformation. That same night, Leo sat on the floor of his apartment. Lights off, mind racing. "Was I really that bad?" he whispered. Then memories hit him. The way he talked to me, the threats, the disrespect. And suddenly, he had no excuses left. Tears started falling. Real tears. Not for money, not for status, but for who he had become. "I messed up," he said. "I really messed up." That moment, that was the shift. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. The next day something changed. Leo showed up early. Didn't complain, didn't argue. Just worked. Big Mike noticed. "Yo, what happened to you?" he asked. Leo shrugged. "Just trying to do better." "Good. Keep that energy." For the first time, someone respected him. Not for money, not for status, but for effort. And that hit harder than anything else. But Leo didn't know. The biggest test was still coming. Because someone from his past was about to walk back into his life. And this time, it wasn't going to be about money.